everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're going to talk about a sequel to a film that didn't have a movie in the series in 30 years, and that is Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. Now, I hope you all had a great Independence Day. I hope you had fun with your friends and family. My mom and dad are still here. Brought my nephew down. We had a big party on the 4th of July. I had a blast. So I didn't get to watch Beverly Hills Cop on the 3rd or on the 4th, but last night we finally got to sit down and watch it. My wife and I, my mom and dad. And look, there hasn't been a Beverly Hills Cop movie in 30 years since Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out in 94. And I'm a huge fan of the franchise. I love the first film directed by Marty Brest. I love the second film directed by the late, great Tony Scott. He was coming off of Top Gun. And Dom Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer produced those first two films. They didn't produce the third one. And you could tell their fingerprints aren't on that film. But this one feels like a Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer production. And when that logo comes up in the beginning, and I love that Jerry Bruckheimer allows them to use that original logo with the Dom Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer Productions. It's great. I love it. And when that came up, it gave me the feeling that this is going to be a little different than Beverly Hills Cop 3. Beverly Hills Cop 3, I just rewatched it. It's a weird movie, and I've seen interviews with John Landis saying that Eddie didn't want to be funny in that movie, and if you rewatch it, he's really not that funny in the movie. He's pretty much playing it straight. And I love that they brought Billy Rosewood back, but obviously you're missing Taggart and Bogomil in that film, and the action seems off. I love the setting of Wonderworld as a setting for it, but that movie's just off altogether. I don't hate that movie, but it's definitely a step down compared to the first two films, and in my opinion, the worst of the franchise, the third one. Not that it's the worst action movie I've ever seen. I just think there's a lot of problems with that film. With this one, I got to say, they got a new director who's never directed a theatrical film, Mark Malloy. I've seen interviews with him. They shot it, and by watching the film, it looks like most of the action is shot for real before we got into the plot. So that was a plus. Plus, you got John Ashton back as Taggart. He's now the chief of the Beverly Hills Police Department. Judge Reinhold's back as Billy Rosewood, So we got most of our characters back. Paul Reiser is back. Now he's the chief of police in Detroit, Axel's boss. And we got some new characters. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in this film. Kevin Bacon's in this film. And honestly, as soon as Kevin Bacon, I've tried to stay away from spoilers. I saw the trailers, but as soon as Kevin Bacon interacted with Axel in the first scene they're together, I knew he was the main bad guy. It's like the most choreographed, it's him right from the beginning. There's no mystery here. There's no, later on, this secret reveal that's going to shock you. It's obvious from the first time they're together on screen that he is the main bad guy, and he ends up being the main bad guy. I will say the action is well done in this movie. Definitely a step up from part 3, and it looked like it was done for real, so hats off to Mark Malloy for that. And this movie had a $150 million budget, so they had some money to spend for sure. Netflix gave them a very healthy budget to pull this movie off. I'm happy to report Eddie Murphy is back in fine form in this film. He's this fast-talking Axel. He's getting himself in and out of situations by using his motor mouth. And he's a man of action, but he's also a man of loyalty. And they do something really fun where they don't harp on his age like in some other films, like the last Bad Boys movie. I love that movie. They do harp on their age a lot in that film. They acknowledge his age. There's a scene where he goes into a hotel, and it looks like the Beverly Palms from the first film, but I don't know if it was. They never say the name of the hotel. And he starts in on his bullshit, just trying to hustle the hotel. And he stops. He starts and he stops. He goes, you know what? I'm too goddamn tired. Just give me a room. And I liked that. It was a little nod that the character is much older now and not as quick as he used to be, and he's tired. He's been through a lot over his career. He's still a cop on the street, and he's tired. And it was just a nice moment. Now, this film circles around. Usually somebody gets in trouble, and Axel shows up to help, figure it out. And this one, Billy goes missing. He's a private detective now. He quit the Beverly Hills Police Department. He's on to something big, which he was when he was still a cop, but it wasn't going anywhere, so he quit to investigate on his own. And he gets taken. And we meet Axel's daughter, which are estranged. I didn't like that aspect, and there's a few reasons why I didn't like. That wasn't uncharacteristic for Axel. You don't explain why he sent her and her mother away. Yeah, I didn't like Axel and his daughter. The relationship, they work on a relationship throughout the film. We find out why Axel sent her and her mother to Beverly Hills is because his family's being threatened by this Detroit mafia. But it didn't feel right the way their relationship was, because Axel was always very loyal to the people he cared about. He was very loyal to Bogomil when he was around, because Ronnie Cox does not show up in this film. Billy and Taggart. He was very, he loved those guys, and he was very loyal and do anything. So for him to have a daughter that they're kind of estranged, it didn't feel right. And I know a lot of films have been doing that a lot lately, especially with sequels. I wish we'd put that to bed now. Let's, because honestly, his daughter could have been taken out of the equation, and they could have streamlined the movie a little bit. I just feel like his daughter grew on me as the film went on, but honestly, her whole character could have been written out of the movie, and it wouldn't have affected it because Axel would have went to Beverly Hills anyway because Billy was taken, and Axel would have went to find out what the hell is going on. But anyway, the action scenes are well done. Definitely a major step up from part three. And the way it wraps up, like I said, even though Kevin Bacon being a bad guy isn't a big reveal. It's obvious from the first scene he has with Axel that he's the bad guy. He's a dirty cop, and but it wraps up nicely, and it definitely sets forth a way to go to a part five if this does well. And I would like, given that this is the first film in the franchise in 30 years, I wouldn't mind seeing another one. And I gotta give Mark Molloy credit; he does a nice job with the directing, and it looks and feels like a Jerry Bruckheimer production. You could tell Jerry Bruckheimer came back. It has that look, like it's almost like they were playing homage to Tony Scott. Like a lot of the way the film is shot and the way the cinematography is, it looks like a Tony Scott film almost. So, they do also in the film. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a great addition to the cast here, and they needed a younger character to come in. Axel is still the star, so there's no worries here of the younger characters taking over. It's not that, but he's a nice foil to play off of Axel when they're thrown together about halfway through the film when they're actually have to work together to figure out what the hell is going on. And, to see, Axel and Billy and Taggart still have great chemistry when on screen together. I wish we would have got a little bit more of it. That's me just because I love those characters together. We don't get a whole lot, but when we do, it's like a special treat. And the way the film wraps up, they definitely set it open for another one. So at the end of the day, this is a very solid Beverly Hills Cop film. I don't think it's, in my opinion, I'm going to do a ranking video. It's not better than 1 and 2, but it's definitely better than 3, and it's a very solid movie. I would like to see another one if they decide to go forth with a 5th one. So at the end of the day, I would give Beverly Hills Cop Axel F a 7.5 out of 10. It's a very solid Beverly Hills Cop film, and it's definitely more in tune with the first 2 films, more so than the third one. So yep, 7.5 out of 10 for Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Have you watched it yet? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I'll be back soon with a ranking video for Beverly Hills Cop and more after that. So until next time, bye.